Hello, friends. I have crippling depression. My model has been very fucked all night, and I don't know why. I still can't figure out what the problem is because I'm slowly going insane. Because VRChat doesn't think it's a problem. Unity and Blender, it's fine. But VRChat is like, what if we just take your leg and move it over here? Right now, it seems to be fine. How I am currently calibrated seems to make it all right. But if I ever recalibrate, I'm gonna be fucked. My leg is gonna be all the way over here, and I'm gonna have depression, and I'm gonna die. I've been having a mild breakdown. But we're good. Don't worry about it. We're fine. Anyways, we're loading in. Oh my god. Now I'm thinking about it again. You see. I've been very busy today, so I'm very stressed. I'm very stressed. By the way, we're gonna go to PL later. Please send help. VR pill, in heaven be thy name. Please fix my model. Glorious VR pill. Praise. Fix my model. Honey buns. I haven't had a honey bun in months. I want one so bad. This is my depression dance. Hi, Goldmine. I'm having a mental breakdown. Don't worry about anything I say. Was it the crab? Was it the Kari's dead crab wave? Because that one was pretty monk-ass. Tuss. Ha! Hello, Mr. RBG. I'm going crazy. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. Where lost my mind? It is a better place. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. Anyways, how are you guys today? How are you doing? What's life without a little mental breakdown? What's your favorite soda? Mine is mental breakdown. This is fine. What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative. What's a ribbon stream without character death and mental breakdown?
Look, we all miss hearing Kari's voice because Kari's voice was the best voice. But we can't have everything we want in this world. I was going to try and make a quick joke of changing to Chantara's voice and being like, well, now you get this. But her voice is really hard to switch into right after Kari's voice because Kari's voice is really, really high. Oh, I'm lagging.
Okay, I probably got that for a short bit now, unfortunately.
Hey.
Mr. J.
Hello.
Jay.
Is my leg broken again?
It's throwback.
I'm gonna die.
No, I need to turn off gestures also.
Hey.
It's a woofie.
All right, recording started. There we go.
I must go to the med bay.
Oh yes, for spirits.
Why are all spirits hurting right now?
My leg's a little broken again.
Somehow his spirit is in the med bay with a headache. I think. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
No.
he's in the head. He's got a headache.
Cause what
He
happened?
sprouted another thing.
Something's going on with his head.
Oh,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of a zit.
Basically, it's like a
Ew.
really nasty mental
Yeah,
zit.
I'll see you guys in set. I'm just gonna go to the restroom.
Bristol's it.
I'm really laggy and I don't know why.
What?
I wasn't before.
I don't know. Try reloading instance.
If I reload,
I'm not in RP.
I'll try. I love you, Jay.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, bye.
I'm already losing my mind. I've been going in the Kari voice and singing
Okay,
goat
stop,
and singing
stop,
crazy.
no.
I'm losing my mind. Chocolate!
If I have to restart VR chat, I will die. Oh, yeah, I might have to restart VR chat. It's lagging. It's lagging. I'm gonna have to restart. And do you know what that means? My model's gonna break again. I swear to God, at this point, I'm just gonna take off my full body and yeet myself into the sun. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take off my full body and just yeet into the sun. VR Pell is dead and we killed him. It's still lagging. Do I have something open that I shouldn't? No, I don't. Oh, now it's fine. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What's waggling? There's nothing waggling. It's my leg is, like, fucked on my Shantara model, and I don't know why. Let's see how fucked it looks this time. At least... Yeah, look. Here's evidence of it being fucked. No one else can tell that my leg looks like it went through a paper shredder, but I can. I can. And my mouth is stuck open. And what's even happening here? What's even happening here? I hate my life. I hate my life. I'm gonna rip my skin off. See, this is what's happening to me all night. I've got a hunchback syndrome. My leg's doing shit. My mouth is stuck open like I'm Pikachu. And no one else can see it. I'm broken. I'm a broken shell of a human being. I'm a broken shell. Why? Why? Do you see this? Do you see what is happening to my body? Why is this happening? There's no reason. There's nothing in Unity or in Blender that would cause this to happen, and it is happening the entire night. And my shoulders are being weird too. Did VR chat change something without me knowing? Did VR chat change something without me knowing? Is that why this is happening? Someone took a werewolf took a giant fucking bite out of my whole asshole, and I look like I thought it was just my eyes that were supposed to have a crescent moon in it, not my whole ass. I'm so mad. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand why it's happening. I think I'm just gonna have to turn off my legs tonight. Again. Just like I'm over here putting on full body, being all ready, and then VR chat's like, you want what? You want to use full body? Like a nerd? I don't even think the hips are moving, so I might as well just go into fucking... I don't know. I think they must have. The hips aren't moving when I fucking do this thing. It's doing the same thing as last night. I don't know why it does this. Oh, is one of my legs still on? Is that why? One of my legs is still on. Let me turn it off. Is it off now? Okay. It's off now. I have crippling depression. Only means can save me now. Okay. There we go. At least I have a hip, guys. At least I've got a hip. If I can't have legs, at least I'll have a hippie. So that I can at least control where my ass is going. See, it's only problems when I put on full body. They must have done something to the SDK. I don't know what they did. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm just sitting here. I was having weird leg problems yesterday. I'm having weird leg problems today. They must have done something, and I don't know what they did. But I wanna die. I'm gonna try and sit down. If I can find where my chair is. Okay. So I can see how bad it'll be when I sit. It'll be pretty bad. I'll have to sit like this. This is the best I can do. Sitting wise. I wanna die. I'm gonna fucking chick. Chotomate. Anyways, how are you guys today? Because I'm doing not great. The answer is not great. It's not even scuffed RP. It's not even scuffed RP that's the problem. The problem is scuffed everything. My life is scuffed. My life is scuffed RP. And I have to go from being anxious and dying to completely calm demeanor. Now I have to be completely calm and relaxed the entire night. But instead I'm dying on the inside. I'm sure you have faith in me, but I have absolutely no faith in myself. That's the problem. I don't even think I'm doing the voice entirely right because I'm literally losing my mind. Literally. There are very few things that genuinely get on my nerves. This is one of those things. believe in the you that believes in me. Do you mean saying flubgub? Because I can say flubgub all I want. Funnily enough, I don't care. Although, on the inside, it hurts me because I know that Kari would lose her shit. Because flubgub is a very mean word. It's a very mean creature, actually. And we never got to see it. At least Kari never got to see it. Maybe we'll get to see it, but Kari didn't. And that's a damn shame. Oh, I'm in the right map. Okay. Turn that off. Humans. Crippling depression. And I don't know, is there a teleport to... Damn it. If only there was a teleport specifically there. That's where I want to start. I'll just turn invisible and run there. I'm sure RP will fix my woes. I'm actually really excited for tonight. I'm like genuinely super excited because I didn't get to RP her socially last time. And this time I'll get some more social time. Maybe even a one-on-one talk. Ha! The Holy Grail. But I don't have an office, so this is my office. Yes, a new OC. It's wonderful. Let me get some water, and then we'll start. And I'll show you the model on you, because it's really pretty. What with Kari's passing, we now have a new character. As we must move on. And I'm still getting used to the voice, so you'll have to pardon if I speak out of character in her voice a few times. I went and I fucked it all up. I hate cameras. They don't like to work with me. There we go. Fuck. I keep getting it stuck to the character. I'm just gonna move. There we go. And I have a steak. We all miss Kari.
Thank you, Anu.
Now I've got to stay in the voice, because if I don't stay in it, then I'll start to lose it. And I would like to try and keep it as much as I can. I feel like such a sassy bitch when I talk like this. I'm not going to lie. It just makes me feel more sassy. It's very hard to get into a voice, especially when it's one very different from your own. With her voice, I have to almost put my tongue in the middle of my mouth to try and get the accent a bit more right. I'm really curious about the Code Vein RP. It seems very, very interesting. I didn't know you were in it. I might try and see if I can join based on a connection with Corona's character. It would be quite fun. But I'd have to talk to Sachi about it, obviously. And I'd have to get a model, because I've actually not played Code Vein yet, and I'm trying to learn how to play it. Hello, Wolfie-chan, how are you today? I've had a couple of mental breakdowns, but I'm getting over it. Stiff upper lip. Mostly it is perseverance. To stay in a voice for a long period of time, the best you can do is just focus entirely on it. When you're speaking, you have to focus on it and try to practice with it and make sure that it's not something that's going to hurt your voice. You can learn different ways of doing it so that it doesn't hurt your voice. For example, speaking in a high-pitched voice can hurt some people's voices if you do it incorrectly, but there are ways to do it that don't do that. I should make sure my hip is actually moving with me, I realize. Because sometimes with the hip calibration, when I just have a hip tracker, it doesn't actually track the hip. So I should take the opportunity while everybody is at the dorms and not here to fix it. If it is a problem. Nope, it is not. Good. Just making sure. Yes, lots of water is very important to having any voice, especially one that's very different from your own. And I find using a high-pitched voice or a low-pitched voice, it's usually the most important that you stay hydrated. And yes, you'll hear puppers. Unfortunately, my family does have guests over, as they usually do on this specific day of the week. Funnily enough, they have heard me make the curry voice multiple times. But we have new dogs in the house, so they're not quite used to the new people that visit every time. But I've heard my father quite a few times tell me stories about how he and his game friends have heard me screaming in baby voice the entire night, and how funny they thought it was. So thankfully, this new voice, they can't hear me. It would be very fun to RP with you for the first time on you. I actually didn't know that you were into RP. Okay, I'm going to try and focus on getting in character now, so I might not respond to chat as much. I didn't know that on you. Text RP was always what I focused on before. Anyways, I am going to get in character, and I will more try and think like the character, especially when I'm speaking with this voice. Because if I don't, then I'll be confused. But that's fine, because I speak random gibberish all the time as this character. That's the point. Anyone who's good at voices should totally try and get into RP if they're interested in telling stories. Oh my gosh, random lag. Only when I look in that direction. What the fuck? Anyways, she's gonna walk. I did. I'm using human speed. She's not fast. She's a human. And she is the first staff member who has absolutely no combat experience. So she's actually more commonly just going to walk around the campus than run. Yeah, and she's wearing heels and a tight skirt. I think you're very good at voices on you. Which I'm abandoning trying to think only in character. Just as a note. Once I actually get to people, then I'll talk.
What do you mean, what the heck?
I think you're good at voices. I've heard you do voices before. I always recommend people try Improv RP. It's really interesting, and it can help you learn a lot of things too.
I'm not good at voices. I don't know what you mean.
You did right past.
I have no idea what you mean. I'm not good at voices at all. It's not like I can go from a high pitched little girl to an old man in 1 minute. That was still a really, really loud old man. I used to be able to go from a really, really high pitched one to an old man in 5 seconds straight. But it's not really as impressive as it used to be.
Good morning, Miss Crescent.
Good morning.
Would you be able to assist me in bringing a thing or two to the classroom for today's lesson?
I can
only have so
certainly
many
do
hands,
that.
unfortunately. Thank you. I have another pair of plants in front of the doors to the school. And how's your day been so far?
It has been pleasant. How's yours?
Interesting so far. Students have a goat they've been overfeeding, and it's having weird problems.
Overfeeding?
Yes, it's getting quite chunky, and keeps making weird noises when you throw food at it.
I see.
Yes. We'll be using this classroom down this wing today. Thank you very much. I believe the students should be ready for class here momentarily. I'll be ringing the bell here shortly if you'd like to meet me in the auditorium. Also, how's everything in regards to Specco? Were you able to figure anything out?
Not exactly. It's nothing I've ever seen before. In fact, it's nothing heard, nothing read, nothing I've... The best I can say it seems
see.
like is a split personality.
This academy sure knows how to pick them,
Certainly.
but we'll hopefully be able to figure something out for her.
Like, this is her running. This is running for her. This is the fastest she can go. And that's like her pushing herself. Look at her go! She's so fast! I'm so proud of her. These legs are made for walking. Kicks off heels.
Seems we still have plenty of books for the students to go through.
Indeed. It would take them a while to move them all over.
True.
Have you seen Professor Silver?
Last I know, she went towards the stadium.
She's not there anymore. I need her to.
Well, I
Can you
just
help us
rang the
with
bell,
the
so she should be arriving here,
Oh,
just like everyone else.
I must have.
Otherwise, I
Double
can't help you, because she should be showing up here. What was that?
Hello, Headmaster. Good morning.
Good morning.
Still all the books.
There's still a lot more books if you'd like some, Augusta.
Sure. Reading material's nice. I don't really like books.
Oh, good. I have books on not liking books. Would you like those?
I hate
Look.
books as well.
Well,
I don't think my wife likes books either.
Headmaster,
There you go.
don't
These
dare
are
give
all
me a
about
book.
not liking books.
Reading books.
Thank you. I
There
appreciate
are some
it,
coloring
Headmaster.
books in there, yes.
Oh, there's coloring
Yes.
books, probably by
I
numbers.
will color.
they've got
I will
pictures?
colorfully color these books, sir.
Yes. Each one representing a different creature.
Brent?
Hey, you fall through your
Are
chair.
you okay?
Oh, fucking chunky ass. Right in your
She's
chair
getting
over there.
chunky like a goat.
Oh, I love Nana.
I had a cricket stuck in my throat. Sorry.
No worries.
Why do you have crickets in your mouth?
Who released the goose?
Judging off of the color, I'd assume you're Professor Willow, yes.
Hi, that's me. How can I help you?
It's lovely to meet you. I'm the new librarian.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes. You weren't here yesterday for
Pleasure.
her introduction.
I thought it would be pertinent that I introduced myself.
I believe this should be everyone. Silver here yet?
She's probably having a conversation with somebody.
Understood. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, there's still plenty of books to go through with the finals coming up and everything. Also,
Milkshakes
well,
bring all the boys to
I'm
the
not
yard
sure if
and their
you
life
noticed,
is
but it
better
seems
than
that some
yours.
people on this campus have been overfeeding Rin's goat. If you could please stop doing that, that'd be quite nice. Silver would like to put it on a diet. It's getting quite chunky.
Chunky.
Yes. Also, moving forward until the end of the year, every single day we will be giving out any mail that arrives instead of holding it for several days. So I will be delivering that now. Some of you got things for merits, etc.
Got over your fear. I'm proud of you.
I never had the fear.
Some of you, once you open the box, if it's too big for the stadium or auditorium here, it will be back in your room. And after this, we're going to be heading to the Arden Vale lecture hall. Please grab a book from the shelf. We'll be going over the rest of the plants that you can grow in the greenhouse, and that should finish out the curriculum this year for plants.
Yay.
Please, please don't let this be what I think it is.
What is a box?
I don't know. What the?
That should be your piano, I believe.
Went behind you.
Oh.
In that?
Like a billion people.
Once she opens it, the fairies will deliver it to her room. Is there any other teachers that need to announce anything before we head to class?
I can't read this.
Oh,
Look forward to hearing you play.
All right, students, and with that, it'll be a pretty small class today, finishing up the remaining plants that can be grown in the greenhouse. Everyone, please meet in the Ardent Vale Hall in about 5 to 8 minutes. You'll have time to return your letters to your dorm in the meantime. You are dismissed. Yes.
I have an emergency.
Can you bring what kind of emergency? Let me see here.
Should I wait after
This
class?
is quite horrible writing, but I'm able to make out he will explode. Let's see here.
Like a bomb, in fact.
Is this his current condition, or
You're with Becca. I'm going.
is this response to before he was prepared?
This was.
Where's Rook?
You want some help, or you have it?
Here, I'll let you read that.
Which one was this?
I'm gonna go grab Rook. Everyone, please stay in the hall if you can, unless you have a note or a letter to take back to your dorm. We'll start class here once we handle something.
What on earth did you do, Popsicle?
I didn't do it. I sent her. I sent the caretaker a letter about Brooke's condition.
That's the caretaker's handwriting?
Yeah.
Scanning.
After class, potentially.
Oh. Ibico's handwriting.
Something happened in the paper class.
Yes,
I don't know the full details, and I don't really understand the spirit stuff. But he's
Understood.
in the infirmary right now.
Want to read it?
I asked
Still?
Professor Vaughn if he could help as well, but I figured.
Courtesy must be
you
wanted.
might
I
have
have
more
followed
information.
a better
Gotcha.
when I am not
I know
having to
we'll
deal with this
Gather
on
the
5
listeners here
cups of
momentarily.
cappuccino.
I
Ah,
may go during the class.
that's probably why she's been drinking her catnip-infused coffees. I have issued requests for dispatch approved immediately. I can't come personally too much on my plate. I'll be sending my personal assistant. They're qualified and also personally involved in Rook's maintenance. It will take 2 weeks to travel. They will ensure no one manipulates him, manipulate his matrix. Damage of this level will cause unpredictable behavior from his protocols. Do not let him activate
I'll ring the bell when I'm
use
starting
his
class here
momentarily.
momentarily.
Can I on you?
We deal
If
with
he
it.
is leaking mana, he is.
All I get from that is
Leaking
bomb.
mana, he is. Self-repair may not have worked with damaged kind of processes. If he fractures critically, he will explode like a bomb. Forgive my bluntness. If this becomes a trend, I will insist on posting on site. He's very important, very special. I will not have him destroyed by hamsters. Anyway, thank you for informing me. You are interesting. Expect additional letters. Maybe go Mickery.
Didn't want them
Is he-
destroyed,
are you
but they
currently
sent them
still
to a
leaking?
military place? Okay.
No.
A fair
That's good. So
question.
we might not have to worry about some of the things in this. However, it seems that they'll be here soon.
I'm gonna.
As this letter is about a day or two old, as we were holding them until recently.
Mm.
As it seems we need to keep you safe until then, Ro.
Very well.
Have the students finished making that thing they were making yet?
I believe so. I haven't heard anything from
Hmm.
Mason.
Understood. Feel free to take the letter back to your dorm. We'll be starting class here momentarily.
Yes, sir.
Same with your books for studying, Vev.
Oh, okay.
Another day.
She's a curious one.
So now I gotta somehow get everyone into the... Lovely. Because I know if I ring the bell, they'll all appear in here again, probably. So I'll give it a minute or so, ring the bell, and head to class. Welcome to the second day here at the academy. Regarding your decision yet?
Not yet, but there's still light in the day.
Very true. Unless they figure out how to blow up the sun at this rate.
They figured out how to blow up students, so
Seems that way.
I suppose that's the next step.
Yesterday they learned how to make them larger as well. Or smaller, depends.
Well, hopefully they can keep the explosions small then.
True, but if it's the sun, never mind. That's more so a joke, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. Alright, I'm going to ring this and head to the classroom. Hopefully they'll arrive there in 5 minutes. If you see any, let me know.
I can wait here to let them know that
I'll be
they'll
heading to the
belong
classroom now.
there.
I rang the bell to let everyone know that the emergency's been dealt with.
just quickly learn how to spell the students' names. That would be helpful. One missing. I wonder why. I suppose I'll find out eventually. Ow! Sometimes you just ouchie yourself. I have valiantly slain it. Yes, yes, it is murdered. We have gone a long time without an ouch. No, actually, I would qualify how I ended last Ascension stream as an ouch. Not gonna lie, that one seemed like an ouch.
And I say this with confidence. You really screwed the pooch.
It's an oof and an ouch.
We're going to have to teach him about Pooch Bane next. Pooch Bane, I guess.
Pooch.
What?
Did he just fall?
What is going on? Trust me, I was watching it. I don't know.
Yes, wonderful example for the new librarian.
Oh, I'm learning plenty.
Alright. Alright, students, we'll be starting here. Please get to your seats.
Did you ask why we learn what's Bane?
No, I said I'm learning plenty.
Alright, everyone, you can look forward here.
Every day is a lesson for me.
Plants here on the first desk.
It's meant to
And
be.
the
Would
rest
anyone
of
like
us
to
as
guess
well.
what this is based on
Well, not only
readings
here,
that you've already done?
It's got a huge mouth.
Okay, let's see. Yes, oh, close. It is almost a watermelon. How about you, Hannah? Do you have a guess?
Protega, sir.
Yes. Now, I'm sure most of you have read the entry by now. However, if for those that have not, a Protega plant is quite important, as if you eat the bulb that is inside the protective layer here, basically a Protega plant has a hard coating on the outside, but if you can figure out how to get through the hard coating, inside is something that will protect you. If you consume the onions-like bulb inside, whether it be in a soup or whole, the flowers on top will absorb any minor spell that hits you. However, things like the elementals from yesterday, if they were to strike you, it would not help at all. However, in Vev's case, if she had one of these on her and someone was trying to, that was an enemy, cast that transmutation spell on you, it probably would have diffused it. Hopefully that provides a good example and basis. However, you can only be under the effect of one of these at a time. If you consume another bulb, it cancels out the previous effect. Whether that be some sort of jealousy that the bulbs have of each other, or perhaps only one Protega can be there at a time. That is not me to, I do not know as to why. That is for it to decide. But you must keep the flower on you for the effect to work. If it is too far away, it will not be able to absorb the magical effect. Is there any questions about a Protega moving forward?
It just turned into a train.
Now, for
I can hear
those
the
that still have
puns now.
seeds to spend, you can purchase the seeds for the greenhouse if you'd like to continue growing these. Just approach me after class, and I will supply those for a seed, or one of your merits, basically. And keep in mind that the effect of the plant renews every day at sunrise. So the next day you can eat a new one after sunrise. Alright, now I'll turn to page 11.
Oh,
This
that
is a
one
new
has a
plant that
very
has
dark cloud
not
over
really been
him.
discussed much around here on campus.
trying
see
to
here
hide
the
it,
one
though,
with the blue
isn't
bells.
he?
This is a pleuris plant. Now, I know some of you have
Chilling.
already had experience with these in the infirmary.
So does the one with the
Who would that be?
glasses.
You'd like to raise your hand? All right, Rin so far. I believe there might be
Suddenly
one or two others.
something
Could you
happened to that
describe your experience
squad.
to everyone?
I ate it.
All right, and
But
after you ate it,
what?
Rin, what did it do for you?
I suppose the rats ate
All
away at
right,
the
so her
roots
mana
of the
went yay if
tree.
you did not hear her. But so basically, long story short, if you
I
plant
wonder
one
if
of these
that
and
will
let it
make
fully
the
grow,
whole
after a day,
forest
it will
fail.
absorb a day's worth of mana, which is about the same strength as half a mana potion. However, if you get an attunement crystal or some other sort of mana containment thing, you can attach it by having it touch the plant itself, or put it inside the bulb. It will charge it like a recharger based on the sun. If it's not on the sun, it will not work. Do we have any questions regarding the Pleuris? Or would anyone like to consume some mana and perhaps eat it? Yes, Rin. Pass this back to Rin. She seems hungry.
I know this,
Unlike her
but
goat.
Kari doesn't.
Yeah, I said that a lot.
All right, and then
Don't let
we
it
have
drink
one
water,
final.
it'll explode.
Yes. All right, and while she chomps on that,
So loudly. Why do you? Oh my
all right. Well, thank you for demonstrating how to get your mana back. All right.
The whole plant.
Lastly, on page 13, this plant I cannot show you. There's a reason for that. A Loxor plant.
Yeah, that's
is
what I
quite a
meant.
rare and hard to
Shantara
find
doesn't know
plant.
that.
In fact, everyone
Nah, Kari
sees it as
doesn't.
something
Kari
different.
doesn't know she's dead either. Ha!
However, everyone sees it the same. It really depends on which one you find.
Look, I've got a lot of
Now,
characters with C names recently.
only those extremely attuned to nature or extremely small creatures, such as a tortoise, is commonly used. Hey, did I somehow grab a book over here? Okay, I will back up. Basically, this can only be seen or found by a small creature or someone extremely tuned to nature,
Where
as
did
I said.
the
Now,
bird
this
fly
plant,
off to?
if you push some mana into it and push it against a lock of any kind or some
I'm
minor
certain
seals,
he's
it will
busy.
consume itself and unlock the mechanism, even without the key. As you can imagine, the rich and powerful do seek these out and will pay handsomely. Perhaps so handsomely that one day you could open up a club or something, or a tavern with all that money. Anyway, this Loxor, if you ever found one, you could, of course, use it for your own or consider selling it. Like I said, you'd get rewarded handsomely. You will not find these often. They are extremely rare, as I said. Only a few are growing in the world at any given time, and they do not have seeds, so we cannot provide you the seeds to grow these.
I'm not
There is a
dying.
method that some folk use. Those that hunt these for sport and hunt those for profit tend to capture tortoises, and after a tortoise has a batch of eggs, they will put a fence around the tortoise. Then a tortoise naturally will seek out a Loxor in order to open the fence so it can get back to its young that it is trapped from. And it is then the hunters will find it and grab the Loxor for themselves. Of course, I'm sure that they, open the gate for it and let it back to its young after it's found their Loxor, and then they go off and become wealthy. However, that does not always mean that a tortoise can find a Loxor nearby, as they are far and few in between. Yes, Ren?
What if there's a door with multiple locks on it?
It would only open one of them, I believe, unless it is considered a single mechanism. That is a good question. Perhaps one day if you find one, you might want to test that theory, but the issue with these
Time magic is forbidden.
that not many would want to sacrifice it for such a test. Is there any other questions about any of the plants moving forward before any of you can approach and purchase the seeds for Proteka and Flora? Yes, Shizuko.
Oh, there goes Victor. There goes Victor.
To unlock other things than just physical, mechanical locks.
Yes, it does work on some seals of certain magnitude. I would believe up to what level of spell do you believe of seal would it be able to open up to 4 or 5? It's not used very commonly on them though. It's more used to
I'd say
find
if
out treasure.
it's got a bit of a boost behind it, you can unlock a 5th, maybe a 6th.
So you might be able to open up to a 6th level seal, but that would take a considerable amount of skill and mana behind it. So perhaps for yourself up to a level 4, 5 if you're lucky. How does that sound? Does that make sense? Any other questions before you can all depart for today? As I know you have a lot of studying to do.
A much shorter class, this one.
Alright, it seems there's no questions then. Alright, then everyone. Oh, yes, Shizuko.
Could you use it to unlock something that was inside yourself?
If it was a seal or a mechanical lock, perhaps it could be used to do such a thing. However, finding one to test it, that would be up to you if you were considering this yourself. Someone else might have to use it upon you, however, as it would be considered yourself and not a lock. Also, there are some, yes, I know some of you might be curious in the back. Yes, some people have in the past used these to unlock chastity belts of princesses, yes. However, most of them get their head cut off.
Did you really think I was asking? I can't believe it!
You were really excited looking.
Why
And
would you
hot
like that?
Can't you guys think about anything else?
Disgusting.
Anything else?
Alright, if there's no more questions,
We're
however.
literally programmed to think about that.
Disgusting.
And the waves wash over again.
Alright, well, is there any more questions or else I can dismiss you for now? Alright, everyone. You are dismissed for today. Thank you for attending. For those that wish to buy these seeds, please approach me after class. I'll be up here for the next few minutes.
Both of them, please. Spider monkeys.
Spider monkey.
Understood. That'll be 2 of your merits. Would you like to, you could even take... Well, their seeds are merits.
I gotta grab these
kind of
books here.
It's come to my attention that referring to them as seeds has become a joke to some of the students. So. But yes, that'd be 2 of your seeds. Feel free to take that with you and plant it if you'd like to get started. But I will have sacks of seeds in there here momentarily for everyone. That's up to you though.
I'll wait for that. Thank you.
There are lots of things.
Understood.
Welcome back to
Make sure
Round
to
of
throw your
Lady.
seeds. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Why are you kidding yourself with
Great.
books,
I'm
idiot?
doing great.
Perhaps you can tell me later.
What's up, bro? You're calling me
Becca.
what?
How are you today, Esme?
Ish.
Would
Yeah,
anyone
that's
like
good.
these before I dispose of them?
Yes, sir. I'll take the
Okay.
Alright, here.
Oh, for the books.
You may have it.
Well enough.
I'll leave this here for whoever
A
else.
little bit light reading.
Sleepy. I'm feeling great.
Could be better.
Amazing.
Check on Pickwick. He's in the infirmary.
Been up in your studies.
And some things
It's
happened.
alright, could I have a word with you?
Is there no one else I'd like to purchase these
yeah,
for?
sure.
Oh, you sure?
Sorry, it was a bit loud. What was that?
Yes, that's how you
Thanks, friend.
I have to hit him again. Make sure that he goes down this
Yeah, sure thing.
Yes.
Right then,
Busy. I won't grow it.
this way.
Becca.
I can't help but notice red eyes on a dryad.
Who's a caretaker after Willow?
That's odd. That is what he is, right? Perhaps he's not one.
No clue. But that's there.
Mayhap I'm presuming.
Might have some,
But usually when I see tree bark on something, it tends to be a dryad.
Of course. Let me just see how my
Dryads
spot
don't
is
have
doing.
red
No, I
eyes,
don't.
however. I wonder why. I'm finding myself wondering so many things here. What a more curious place than I'm used to. certainly more mysteries to find out here. There's always another. They never do quite end. I think I'll take a shortcut. I think I remember. If you walk out that way, then take a right, you end up
I'll
outside.
get there one day, Mason.
Wait, what?
Is there something you need?
I don't know who you are.
I see. I might not have, or rather you might not have been there yesterday. My name is Miss Shantara Crescent. It is wonderful to meet you. I'll be your new librarian.
Oh, I don't think I've met the last one we had. What we do? We stop us from taking more than 8 books out. We only take out 9.
So long as you return them, I don't exactly care how many you take out.
I've only destroyed 1.
Hopefully you don't do that again. It would be unfortunate.
It was a bad book. It was about drows and it was all wrong. Mm-hmm.
I see. Do you know quite a bit about them? I shall have to look into curating the school's books then. If they're wrong, I will personally read them over. Thank you for the warning.
I'm gonna go see my friend now.
Seems like all the students here have something bad going on. A shame to see so many scars on a poor girl.
Jumping on me?
Right. I don't want to get to drastic measures, but I can if I will. How'd you like that?
I told you, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. I just been casting and using the magic I've always been using.
Very well.
But what kind of magic is that?
Fine. I suppose we should get you back to your watchdog then.
And I am still concerned why I saw Morgana Le Fay.
Before we go, isn't that indeed a door special?
I don't want to tell them about this. But if I am made to, I will. And I know they will attempt to make me. Or in this case, it's a bit of unmake me, isn't it? That's a better word. I should use that one from now on. Oh, she absolutely lives inside her head. A daydreamer, this one is. Which is very funny for a student. Or, not a student, for a staff member. For a staff member to be daydreamy is pretty funny. Yes. She's absolutely a librarian. So sad to to see an empty museum. But they'll fill it eventually, I'm sure. At least I'd hope so. Seems I went out the wrong way. How to go next time? I should probably look into the books. But exploring would be a much more interesting use of my time. I always did like exploring. But job comes first. Job comes first. Perhaps after a bit of a peruse, then I'll go ahead. Certainly. Certainly, certainly. Yes, that'll work. A bit of a peruse, and then I'll head out to explore my new environment. Still feels odd to be at such a low level. The mountains were much better. You could see the moon from miles away. But here I have to squint to look at it. At least if I want to truly see her. Let us see if any students are actually studying. There's one. That's good.
Hello?
I like that one. But let's see if there's any others. Out of character, why is there fighting music going on? What is happening that I'm not seeing? It's fucking dope, though. I'm totally up for it. Probably something going on in the Coliseum, that's what I bet. People fighting. Oh, what a world, what a world. Don't actually tell me, because that's meta information. Just for the future. Just because I'm wondering what's happening doesn't mean you should tell me. Bit of a mess. This will be fun to organize now, won't it? I think the books are having a bit of fun. I suppose every day I'll have to settle them. Sweet books. Much knowledge you'll give us. And more importantly, give the students. I don't know what has filled their heads so far. Hopefully nothing too bad. I'm actually going to make this a routine. During the day, she's just going to push all the books down so that they're sitting straight. Because that'll be a good little routine to have. Calm the books. So they can be prepared to invite knowledge. Or is it incite knowledge? A bit of both. A bit of both. Oh, what fun we'll have together, books. I think you are my only competent helpers. At least while I'm here. The headmaster seems to have a good head on him, but the bird is, well, batty. Something's off about the Fae. Well, the branches. Branches is better. I'll go with branches. And no. The doctor is perfectly fine. I like her. I haven't gotten to interact with her much, though, so who knows what she's hiding. Competent people are always the best hiders. After all, it's good to be away. But I'll have to report something. And what will I report? I can't exactly go about reporting that this child has something to do with Morgana. That would be... I don't entirely know that I want them to have that information. Honestly. Perhaps I could give that little white-haired girl a bit of a mission. She wrecked the Drow book because she thought it was incorrect. Perhaps she could help me correct one. Write one with the proper needs. Yeah, the books are actually all over the place, which is funny. I wish they would put like a secret book back here. In this empty area. I wish they'd put like a cool, like, spooky book. Turn this one around. Proper posture now. You books are meant to impress. Don't you wish to?
Hello?
I certainly do. I'd certainly like you to impress if you can. And I'm sure you'll do a glorious job. Especially you. You're very well dressed. You not so much. A bit of dust on you. We'll clean it off later. Not bad. Bit better. Tip-top. And we're off again. To the races. I almost want to respawn and turn off this music because it's really not in the scene, but I then would have to turn back on the music and there isn't a turn back on button. Oh my god. I'm staying in the voice. As you can see, I'm doing very well. Hello, Corona. I know I'm trying for the first time to do a very deep voice with an accent, and I don't know how it's working out for myself. But I certainly don't sound like Ruben, do I? So it works out. I'm calming the books. That's what Shantara is doing right now. She's calming the books. Because they're all sticky uppy.
Sticky uppy. What I'd like to be able to do is to literally just go straight from Kari
into Shantara. What a glorious transformation we've had. Stand up straight. There we go. You have to be ready to impress. Otherwise it will be terrible. Horrible form. Don't backtalk me. I can feel it. At least some of the books have been disturbed, but I don't see a large majority of students studying. Perhaps they're just studying with the books in their rooms. But for now, I'm sensing a bit of... what is it called? I don't know. I haven't thought of a word for that one yet. But, regardless, unprepared. Nice cover on this one. Ridges. If only it was real skin. That would be curious. None in my collection. But I've heard them be bound like that before. Calm all the books. Truly, is this to be my fate? All alone with the books.
Hello.
Do you need assistance?
Oh, we're just looking for some of the other Ignis squad members, wondering if they'd popped in.
They're certainly not here. There has only been one student who popped in to study, and they seem to have left. Surprising when it's finals coming up. But I won't judge too dearly.
I'll have to send my squad in here at some point. I'm pretty sure Beaker's probably be in here, or either that, or she's combing over her own notes.
Something along those lines. It could be that they're just studying the books in their rooms. But I could use company.
I will be sure to bring them over then.
Thank you.
Come on, Liver.
I'm going to continue preparing the books. That's just not a proper order, is it? A little too neat. Or not. Take that one out, shift it over there. Much more fun. More colorful as well. Now we have the task of the upstairs books. What am I going to do about those? I suppose I could keep all of the hidden books up there. That would be best. More of the books I'd not like them to see without my saying so. That would be best. Exactly, they can't really reach them themselves, anyways. If they could, I'd be surprised. You know, I bet that spider girl can't. But not the floating ones. Fun enchantments in here. Okay, genuine out of character question. Are they still fighting, or is it just the music still going? Which, by the way, when I'm doing this and looking at the books, that means I'm probably moving them. They're still fighting? Okay, good. As long as they're still fighting and they're not just, it's not just that it's stuck like that, I'll feel better about myself. That one should be over there. That one would be much better in that section. Go on. No need to be slow about it. That whole section's going to need to be moved. Oh, can I switch it with one of them? Which one? Which one? All the way up there. And pick those ones up. And done. That's better. Better than nothing. Truly a wonder. What will the last librarians even do? How's anyone meant to find anything like this? Besides me, of course. I can find whatever I like. But... oh no, that's just crude. Look at me over here, role-playing with myself. And we're doing a great job. My back hurts. What I find weird is that the music in the library still plays, the music that changes in the library, but I also hear the fight music. That's, I think, what's annoying. Chair? Chair. Okay. Papa squat. Yes, a dutiful guardian of knowledge, is it? Was that what I am? I'm a dutiful guardian of knowledge, and I must preserve the books and make sure they are all in proper order. If nobody comes in soon, however, I'm going to Purple Lotus. It's a very fancy way of saying that, isn't it? But you're a nerd too, Sock, so I don't know why you're judging me. But I'm legit just sitting. That's Shizu's job. I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here. Heck, you're right. Exactly, I'm right. I'm always right. I'm smart. Takes a nerd to know a nerd. Yay, they stopped fighting.
I can just have pretty library music. Morph is hosting tonight. Let me find Morph. I don't think I have him in my list. Morph. Where were you on my list? Where were you on my list? I don't see him. There he is. Oop. There we go. That's for later. Oop. No one's popped in. Bite the head off the chickens. That one needs to be calmed. Soothe the folks. Soothe them. Wait, you bite the head off chickens? What? Do you absorb their power? Because I do. That's what I do. I can't wait to go to PEL. I suppose I'll just have her kind of sit here passively reading for a little bit. It hasn't passed the 2-hour mark, but I do want to go to PEL tonight. You become what you eat. You're becoming a chicken. Taking off my full body trackers on my feet, 'cause I'm not using them anymore. Good night, Bio Mike. I hope you have good sleep. I see they've arrived. No time to dilly-dally then. Hello?
I find a better question is where to end rather than where to start. After all, you always know where you're going to start, but you never know where you're going to end.
There's gotta be 4 exams.
Do you need help finding anything?
Ma'am, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, what are you sure about?
I'm sure that I was told to come here and study.
Then what do you want to start on? Or rather, where would you like to end? I always find that's more interesting.
really good grades. I just I guess I just kind of want to keep my promises, and I told my to do my best.
So that's why there's
So
such a dark
I'm
cloud
just
over
here to
your
talk.
head.
But wait, what? Is there actually a cloud?
No, not a real one.
There's no clouds over my head.
Metaphors are much more fun than literals.
Right. I'm sorry, ma'am. I forgot your name.
My name is Shantara Crescent, but you may call me Miss Crescent.
Right.
I haven't had the opportunity to meet your squad yet.
Well, around here somewhere. Yes. Supporting people as we do.
Probably. You are the roots, aren't you? And the roots to a very old tree.
I'm gonna assume that means you're talking academy and yes, I guess.
No, more I mean, your tree is quite vast. A lot of students to take care of. And difficult to take care of them all.
So, a lot going on.
It's always hardest for the roots. Certainly harder than being a leaf. When all you have to do is wave around in the wind all day. But the root has to do all the work.
I don't mind putting in extra work. It means I can do what's necessary to help the people I care about.
Glad to see some effort then. What would be your name then, dear?
Still not sure. Sorry, ma'am. Mason Morris.
There's no need to stand rigidly around me. I'm not a teacher.
Okay.
I won't be instructing you in anything. Unless you just have morbid curiosities about these books, then I will instruct you heavily.
What?
I'm the librarian, so I will instruct you as to where books are, if you are curious about them, is what I meant.
Right. Okay.
So you were curious on where to start.
Yeah.
What is your hardest subject? The one you struggle with most? That is where you should start. And it is also likely where you should end.
Guess that's probably welcome stuff.
Probably. Reading the toughest books first, and then reading them again at the end, usually tends to help keep the information in. Otherwise, it tends to float right out. At least when you need it, anyways.
I see. Okay. Then I guess I'll just start there. Work my way around, I guess.
Alrighty then. I won't keep you. If you wish to check any of them out, you can take whichever you like. So long as you bring them back, and you bring them back unharmed. And before the date is over, I'm sure they'd appreciate attention. Books are very lonely creatures, you see.
Especially you. You're the most
Hello.
lonely. Yes.
Miss Crescent, I believe.
Yes.
Have you seen, I don't know if you know her, but Sveka in here recently?
She did come in here about... must have been 15 minutes ago.
Ah, I see.
She was with Professor
Thank you.
Willow. I believe he was trying to take her back to her squad.
She was by the blue portal with Rook. Last I saw her about 5 minutes ago.
Thank you. Thank you. Miss Crescent.
That's going to be a thing to confuse you all. You're used to saying
Is that the
Professor
correct
before
way to
most
address you?
names. Yes. But she almost said Professor.
It is a habit I think we all fall into.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Star.
It is good to meet you as well. Hopefully I'll
I
be
was
seeing a
actually
lot of you.
looking for further knowledge. I was wondering if you might be able to help me.
On what subject exactly?
Tomes. Oh, runes, rather.
If it's a book we have, I can certainly find it for you.
I was wondering if perhaps there was books from later years on it. I know we're supposed to wait for Professor Willow, but I was hoping to read ahead.
I will try and look around for them and I'll let you know at a later date. I'm still familiarizing myself, and some of these books seem quite picky.
Very well. If there's anything on the higher levels or the sorts, let me know. I'd like to get my hands on one.
Of course. There's certainly a lot on the higher levels, if it is what you wish. However, I'm not entirely sure yet.
Thank you, Miss Carson. And you probably will be seeing me. I do quite frequent the books. I'll
I'm
return
glad.
this by the end of the day.
Give her good fun. She likes it. I believe. Trying to make sure that I'm not bending. It's really hard to see over her tits. It's really, really hard to see over her boobs. They are, like, in the way. Straighten yourself out. Presentable. If you want to go on a date, you will need to look presentable. You'll have to look the part to play a princess, dear. I'm sure you do, Corona. These ones are pretty big. I can't see my feet. I see you're going to be a problem child, aren't you? A little bit of... You're a dusty one. I will have to clean you proficiently. But I don't have time for now. So many to look over. But I'll remember you. Toodle-bit. Is that a word? That's not really a word. That's just a saying or a phrase, but a fun one. It sounds like happiness. And I think this place could use it. I'm still confused why there's so much water in a library. You'd think that would make the air moist and the books unpleasant. but I'm sure that everything is fine. What with all the magic and who's not? I can always test it out. I would love to put Corona's tits next to these ones, but I genuinely think they're bigger. I genuinely think Shantara's boobs are much bigger than Corona's. Corona's are still a reasonable size. Shantara's are not. Shantara's are like Gahangahugnas. Oh no, she's not a double D. I think she's like a. It's not an F cup. It could be like a triple F cup. Like a triple. An H cup is more similar. Yeah. These are not a normal amount of tit. Nor a reasonable amount. It's just not okay. It's just too much tit. It's just too much booby. It's just too much booby. Test of reveal. H for humongous. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the hip tracker because she's not going to be doing a ton from this point, and I'd like to go ahead and just get ready for going as Cord later. I got this new anime plot. It's basically this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, serious honkers. A real set of badonkers packing some Doban honkeros. Massive. The Doban honkeros. There we go. Doban honkeros. And the cougars. Big titties. Shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Come on, girl, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. A transmission shows up one day with even bigger hooves. Humongous gangas. They're so titty. I can't wait to make everyone uncomfortable every time they come in here. Because it's just going to be like, I'm coming in here to be quiet. And solitude and silence. And then my ass comes over just like, hello, how are you doing? I'm going to talk to you the entire time. How are you? There we go. Doban hang nangor hagaros. Hagna hugnas. I can constantly see the floof of her chest in the corner of my eyes. It's not quite time to retire. No, she hasn't, but I want to go to PL tonight. And I don't think people are going to be hanging out around the library too much. She hasn't really been here long enough that
people would be super interested in doing so. So, I'm probably going to go to PL pretty soon. It's going to be at the 2-hour mark exactly. Still having a meeting? Who's having a meeting? Is it in Ascension or are you talking about PL? They are. Oh, I see. Yes. Yes. They. Mhm. I'm just basically doing random things. Ah, Ignis. The red boys. What do I have to worry about the red boys? I'm not worried about them. I don't give a shit. They are not in here, and thus I don't care about them. You know who's in her favor? Who's in her good books? The people who came in. Bright pupils. Bright. Bright as the day is young. A crack in the wall. Preposterous. Tired. Almost at the 2-hour mark, boys. Corona. I should note I do have Discord open for you, Corona. So when I need to come over, I will. I definitely don't like playing this character without a hip tracker, though, because it feels like my boobs are constantly in my face. Oh god, I really hope there's not too much of that going on, because that would be... Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But it would be a good place to go, because nobody comes in it. Or do they? Badum-tis. Nobody comes in it. Ha! Got him! Fuck, I'm great! Whoosh, bitch! Ha! Got him! Easy clap. Easy clap, motherfuckers. I got that beach.
I got that beach, yay. I got that beach, yay. I got that beach, yay. I got that beach, yay.
This is what I choose to do with my time. This is what I choose to do with my time. Just to be the Mrs. Doubtfire. It's entirely possible. She has such weird body posture. Like she holds her hand out like this. That's normal for her. That this makes sense for her just to hold her hand out like this. Was contemplative at all times for balance. I gotta balance, I gotta balance against these, bazongas, huh? Poor Mason, he's in here all alone.
Hello.
Was that his doing or yours?
Which thing?
2 books at once.
I think that was mine, actually. Well, I didn't tell him to do it, but I think I might have contributed. I told him he should start with what is hardest for him. He seems the most due diligent. Although I did have one of the blues come in and take a book. And even ask
Right,
for
start.
more.
Start.
Yes.
Seems that humans wish to have a bit more of an aptitude towards proving themselves.
I am going to have to look around, but he asked about some further curriculum on the runes, I believe. So I'm going to try
Transmutation,
and
right.
look and see if there are more books in the upper sections. Something I can provide him. I'm not entirely familiar
Well,
yet, but I'll get there.
if you need any assistance, I can help you. Runes are my department.
That's why I asked you. Are you sure if there's any books on them? Any further ones, at least, more advanced than what we have out?
Most of the ones only give mention here and there, but nothing too on the path of it, if you will.
I suppose I'll have to look in the upper sections. See if there's any there. They do like to hide up there.
I'm not the one who enchanted this library, so
Oh, I
couldn't
find
help
it
you with it
quite
even if you wanted
fun.
to. Oh,
Trying to teach
if
the
you
books
need
to
any
be more
assistance.
presentable. They like to float a little too much off the table. They're never going to get a date that way. Have to have proper posture.
Well, I'm sure that they will be merry nonetheless just to be read.
Indeed. And it seems your squad has a playboy. He'll be reading all the books. And at
Aye.
once, too. How merry is that making?
I'm sure they're rightful delighted to be in the middle of an orgy.
Indeed.
So if you don't mind me asking, are you human?
I am. Although my culture is different from most.
Fair enough. I'm sure the tone of my skin gives it away.
A bit. Though, pardon the intrusion, but the eyes did throw me off.
An unfortunate turn of events. In my culture, when we do something that's wrong, we permanently are stuck with a blemish. Mine happened to be my eyes. Others, sometimes as their glow, turn red, or their bark will turn dead.
Well, I suppose it's just better that it's just the eyes then. Doesn't ruin the entire look. Though I'm sure, and unfortunately, I'm sure it's not entirely pleasant for you.
At first, no, it was painful when it happened, but they're just there now.
Well, I can empathize with the feeling. Being different is always more interesting, isn't it?
Coming to this school was what made me different. It made it very apparent. None of the students have ever seen a triad beyond me.
Well, and now you're even more different. I've found a lot of different here. And I think that's what I find most interesting.
Aye. The day is never dull.
No. But a lot of dark clouds loom over your routes.
Aye, they do.
I suspect something happened. I can particularly tell that one and the one with the glasses are struggling quite deeply. I haven't got anything precise yet.
Aye. That's a conversation to be had about from the kids.
Likely so.
Ladies first, it is your library after all.
Indeed. Although I share it with good company, don't I?
I'm not sure if you're talking about the trees or the books.
A bit of both. I've never been in a library with quite so much life in it. I think I quite enjoy it.
Charles here is a nice gentleman.
Is that his name?
Serafina in the back is a bit quiet.
Well, perhaps we can get her to open up.
Well, if you can speak to trees, then by all means.
I can't, but... Well, rather, I can't understand them, but I can talk to them all I want. I'm just not sure that they'd get what I mean.
Oh, you'd be quite surprised at how well their common is.
Oh, really? Well, then I'll have to be careful about what gossip I spread around. Wouldn't want the
Oh, trust
grass to
me,
get
it's...
caught up. I've heard it's quite the tattletale.
They are. I was going to warn you, trees aren't much of the gossiping type, but they do listen. It's the grass you have to worry about.
Well, I can imagine if I was stepped on all the time, I might be a bit of a blabbermouth myself. Must get annoying.
Well, for the most part, it does some days.
Purely based on curiosity, what is your favorite plant to speak to?
To be quite honest, rose bushes.
That explains the high amount I noticed.
Aye. Those are the young'uns. They are, for the most part, they're meant to keep the children in check.
I see.
Haven't had to use them at all recently, thankfully. In the beginning, though, there's a few times.
That does always tend to happen. Usually when they're at their worst is the beginning at least. They start to straighten out during the middle, and then they start to get worse at the end again, but you figure it out.
Aye.
And I'm sure that these roots are going to have curious ways of growing for you.
Considering that Mason had next to no potential when it came to magic, and only just started recently showing his affinity, aye.
I'm sure. Still, I'm not entirely idiotic. My
Never thought you would.
abilities do assist in figuring things out, but I can tell that boy's lost quite a bit. And I
We all did.
did notice the merit board. I presume something quite tragic happened.
one named Cory Cuttlefish. He's no longer with us.
I see.
The two of them were kind of close.
I can tell.
If memory serves me correctly, I think the two of them were holding hands on the last day that she was around.
I see.
But the reason for the eyes was because that drove me to a part of my culture's
It's
darker
closing
roots.
already?
Made me do something I regret. I will to my dying day.
I see. Loss drives us all to move in different ways. Especially of someone important to you.
Forgive me for asking, and I know it's a terrible question to ask a lady, especially a human woman. But how old are you?
It is an uncomfortable question, but I'm not some age-old person. Although my hair is grey, or rather white, I assure you it's fully natural.
I would assume so.
But I won't give an exact number. It would be unladylike of me.
Well, then the book is yet to be not young enough to be on the children's section, but old enough to be somewhere relatively into the young adults.
I can accept that.
It's perfectly fine.
Generous,
Age
you
to
are.
my culture. Try to be. I'm well over 300 years old.
I see.
But
I presumed you might be quite old.
triads can live for thousands of years,
Seems you're
so
not
long
the
as there's tree.
only one who's very old. I do believe the bird is going absolutely batty. And judging on how much he squawks, he has to be somewhat old.
Bird.
Let's see if you can decipher my weird aptitude. Some can't.
Might take me a minute.
Some find me
Generally, when someone
very confusing.
Not at all. It might be a bit of a riddle for me to have to mull over into the evening, but nevertheless. Typically, when people mention birds, it's somebody that likes to talk or squawk.
Oh, he likes to squawk and prostrate himself. At least from my current experience.
Are you talking about Carver?
Oh no, that one is an entirely different subject. More of a rhino, I think.
I was going to say, if we were going with the aviary analogy still, I would call him a bit of a peacock.
Might be. A combustible one.
Combustible, no, but very human, yes.
Well, he does like to combust.
Would you like to have a seat?
I suppose. I can't turn one down. It is hard to spend the entire day in heels.
I would assume so, though I've never worn them.
They're interesting. one of nature's greatest inventions. To torture your feet.
Oh, I would assume.
Not the worst thing, however.
Right. Hmm. I presume we're talking about a teacher then,
Yes.
at least a staff member.
I haven't gotten to know any of the students yet. At least beyond my first impressions.
Fawn, I'm assuming is whom you're referring to then.
Oh, yes. The most squawkety of them all. He seems to think he knows everything. Even about things that he isn't.
Aye.
But certainly he knows more than I, obviously. I wouldn't dare to presume that I could know more about him on anything.
Most that I know is of my culture and runes, and that's about it. That's in my family. Or families.
Families?
350 years kind of allows you to get around a bit.
I see. A fun life you've had then.
For a while.
Even the most gnarled roots can't be without their soft spots.
Oh. Eventually my roots were settled.
Eventually
We
they
had our
always do.
differences. But at some point, things got a bit shaky between the two of us.
Unfortunate when it becomes like that.
I'm still with her. But
Well, that's preferable.
well, luckily she is drow, so she can live just as long as I can.
Then I'm sure at some point you'll start to work it out.
Well, 90 years of not speaking and then writing a letter out of nowhere asking for a bunch of seeds kind of is a great way to break the ice, I suppose.
I'm sure asking anyone for seeds is a fun icebreaker. At least if written in the right cursive.
My calligraphy is not what it once used to be, so unfortunately, no. Just simple handwriting.
How terrible. If you need help next time, just let me know. I know how to woo.
Well, fair enough.
I did it once myself as well.
And how did that go out for you?
Doing well. At least for then it did. Did you need help finding something?
I got it. Cute though.
Right then. I did want to ask. Seeing as you noticed the drow book was incorrect, perhaps sometime you could work with me to write one that's more completed. This might be a fun project.
You're better asking Melanie. Awful.
Perhaps, but
Actually, drow.
it is always good to learn how to research.
The only problem I had with it was
It was too stereotypical and didn't portray all of what the drow were like.
I see.
It's like,
You have a good connection with him, don't you?
I did. Excuse me.
They split apart.
Quite the wilting rose that one is.
Aye, that's the dandelion. One minute she's strong and spry, and the next she's withered and blown away.
Having all her petals ripped off, it seems.
Oh. When I visited the Isles, as much as I don't enjoy visiting them, they did tell me quite a bit about her, so I have my concerns I just have yet to approach.
Well, you should do it at some point, lest ye forget.
I'm old, but not that old.
I didn't mean to imply. But I can see you
I was
getting lost
jesting.
in the leaves.
Alright, now you're going to start in on the tree puns. And I thought I'm the one who was the sappy piece.
I think you'll find I make quite a many pun. Although usually they're quite moon-based. I don't make it
Could tell from
unobvious, do I?
well, the lovely cape twinkles like the night sky, the crescent brooch, crescent hairpiece, even your eyes.
I have a certain style.
One could say you worship the moon.
I do,
Or perhaps
actually.
you are. What is it like worshipping something of the night?
I find it beautiful. Find her beautiful. But I know others see it as a scary time. Cold is the night. But sometimes cold is exactly what you need.
Even the most brilliant of roses bloom in the evening.
And I find their petals look quite brilliant in her light. A
Some
much
of them are
softer
very
glow.
illuminant. Aye. You would love my garden then.
Probably.
I have many a different rose.
I haven't seen one before, not truly. But I can imagine a dryad's garden being quite perfect.
Aye. If you'd like. As one of the students likes to call it, my grotto. It's just down the mountain from the school.
I see.
So, you are more than happy to come visit during the break if you wish.
I wouldn't
I'll be tending
mind.
to it. I would
Most
enjoy the
of my
company.
time will be spent here. After all, I do have a lot of work to do. Some of the books are quite sassy. They're going to need
I
a
would
lot
presume
of
so.
prepping for the incoming year.
Aye. And a woman of your caliber, I'm sure, will be able to get them all in nice order.
Oh, yes. I'll be trying my best.
I'm not sure what it is you can do, but if you need to reach the higher selves, I can provide you with some runes of lift and
Don't you
descent.
worry. I may not be a fighter, but I can get to the top shelf.
Fair enough.
I'm not proficient in any type of fighting, but simple magic like moving around a book or two isn't too hard.
Coffee or tea?
I'm not going to lie. I usually enjoy hot cocoa better.
Fair enough. I will be sure to order some cocoa seeds at some point to get them into my garden. So that when you come by, if you wish, I will provide you with some hot cocoa.
How fun.
But whatever conversations you can have with some of the students, I'm sure that your words will be very reassuring.
I hope so. Sometimes they do come across as quite confusing. I think I've already confused your Mason.
He's very easily confused. I don't think he's seen the outside of his own country.
I see. I haven't seen too much outside of mine, but I have heard a lot about it. I am quite excited to be away.
Well, my gardens are always open, just as much as the cocoa will be flowing.
Well, if you'd ever like to see the inside of a book, I can show you around my little domain. Although not right now. It needs to be tidied.
It's quite alright. I don't mind at all. Whenever it's tidied up.
It is planned then.
I'll bring the cocoa. If
Wonderful.
that's quite alright, of course, I wouldn't want to get pages wet.
Well, I'm already in an environment with quite a lot of water and paper in the same area, so I think I'm going to quite learn how to deal with it.
Fair enough.
It's not water I'm worried about with these books, it's more the ravenous youth.
I'm sure the children will take good care of the books, especially with someone of your caliber looking after them.
Hopefully. I wouldn't want to have to scold any of them.
Dear. Don't,
Quite a
whatever you do,
tongue
don't
lashing,
order. I was about to say it better be just a simple tongue lashing and not an actual ruler in your hand someday. Otherwise, some of the students might be looking forward to something like that.
I might expect that. Not going to lie.
I might be a married man, but I will still say this: you are a very beautiful woman.
I try to be. I find it makes me more intimidating. And I need all the help I can get. Especially in such a fighting environment.
Right. But the ferocity of one's looks can only get them so far. So.
Indeed. Hopefully my intelligence can bring me otherwise.
Oh, I'm sure your intelligence will get you much further.
Indeed.
If I have to remain on my toes most days when it comes to these lot.
Seems so. Some of them have very interesting things about them. Especially our resident Specker. I'm going to have to keep an eye on her. Although that is what I was brought in for to some degree. I'm just not exactly as useful as I was intended. At least in that respect.
Our case is a curious one, to say the least.
Indeed. More curious than I think you know.
No one seems to inform me properly, so can't
Oh,
help with what I don't know.
Not anything that they could have told you. I think I'm the first to figure it out. But I shan't spoil her secret. It would be quite rude of me. In fact, I'm still processing it myself.
What the fuck? There's one, well, two inside of one.
No. Oddly enough, that's the least of my concerns. That one has a very interesting tangle in their web. It is spun in such an intricate design that I don't quite understand it yet.
Well, that would explain the feelings that I get from her when I'm around her energies she feeds on.
Necromancy has always been a curious sort, and the ones who practice it even more curious.
They aren't trying to find the cure to eternal life. It's planning to ensure that they don't die.
Usually. But I don't think they realize how important death is.
No, they do not. As much as life is as important, death is just one half of life.
I'm glad someone can understand.
I'm on the other side of that scale.
Oh, really?
I'm the life, whereas she is the death.
There always has to be balance amongst the chaos. Although I think I find the chaos quite interesting.
Oh, the in-between is quite nice.
Indeed. Just a little bit of all of it. Stir it in a stew. That's when you get the most interesting things out of life.
Aye, that you do.
Here's hoping my conversations with the other teachers can be just as pleasant as yours. Besides the bird, of course.
That one is, that's a cup of tea in and of itself. Carver, on the other hand, because of how...
Have you guys seen Ignis at all? Becca came
No.
to for a moment, and Lila's in a dungeon with her currently. She's now passed out. So
I
I'm
have
looking for
not.
Ignis. But perhaps you'd like to head down there as well. They were looking for
Is-
teachers earlier.
Specker knocked out completely.
Before I left, according to Lila, she was speaking directly to Specca, and then there was some sort of internal struggle, and she passed out onto the concrete floor. And now she's in bed, unconscious. That is how she was when I left.
Mm.
Lila was
Suppose the
encouraging
duty-
Specca to fight it. And that was all I was informed of. That's why I'm looking for Ignis to see if they know more.
Haven't come through here.
Unfortunately,
All
they're
right,
not up there. I hadn't
I'll
seen them
check real
pass.
quick and then jump down, perhaps. I'll leave you to it then.
Going to say I'd watch out for Carver.
I think I'm already watching out for him.
Good. Professor Silver, on the other hand, she's
Oh, I quite like
very
her.
to herself.
She seems competent, and that's something I can enjoy in a woman.
Right. As for Steele, he's here and there, but he's very broody.
Yes, I believe now he's the only one I haven't actually met.
I think I've also put in a request at some point to have another hard and fail teacher, so who knows?
Hopefully you get one.
Hopefully.
Although I don't think your squad is the worst of the bunch, it certainly seems, at least for a time, you're going to have quite a bit of trouble with them.
Just a bit.
But waves always pass. Even the most turbulent ones. I'm sure eventually it will become quite a shallow shore.
Mm-hmm. So, what else do you have?
What do you mean?
It isn't cold.
There was an incident with a ledge and a river, and my clothes got wet, so I took them off, changed.
Fair enough. The two of you don't always have to stand at attention when I approach. I know that you're trying to remain professional, as it is an academy of the militaristic, but for heaven's sake, I'm not going to be like Carver and scold you for not always standing at attention.
I'm pretty sure even Carver wouldn't do that, sir.
I don't even know that Carver think to do that.
That's funny. Coming from a man who's in the military, lax in his own duties. But, for the most part, the only times that I require you
Corona,
to
you still in the
stand
chat?
at attention will probably just be in the morning. Otherwise, after that, unless you are formally coming up to me to ask something of me, just relax. I'm not going to bite your heads off.
Okay.
Understood, sir.
Carry on. Suppose I should go see Specca.
Suppose. I should probably likely check on her too. Besides, it will be helpful to have you to follow around, because I have no idea where I'm going.
Fair enough. No one showed you, I'm assuming.
No. A little bit of an issue came up the first day I was here, so no tour for
Right.
me.
You know what that building is?
I think I do. That is the staff's, yes?
What is it? Right. That one?
Some sort of museum. I'm not entirely sure. I looked around, but it was quite empty.
The trophy hall.
I see.
The building over there that's coloured.
A greenhouse, looks like.
Right, and your establishment, of course. This building over here.
No idea, but I can presume by the colours it might be where our resident doctor lives.
Right. And on either side of those buildings are training facilities. One for sparring arenas behind yours, and behind the nurse's facility is the magic range.
I see.
And down the centre here is
Good
the
to have that
stadium.
near.
And then down the path off to your right, just before you get to the stadium, all the way down off that way is the docks.
I see. I'll still have to have a look
will also-
around.
Hmm.
Just for fun.
If you, as morbid as it may be, there is our graveyard.
So that's what's up there. I did presume it was quite important.
Has the headmaster told you about the portal system?
I've been informed, but I'll have to get used to the colors.
Right. Red to the front, blue to in front of the stadium, green to the graveyard, yellow to the dorms,
Orange to here.
and pink to the docks.
I see. I don't think I'll find myself at the dormitory too often, but you never know.
Well, if you ever want to visit the students and demand they return the books that they have so rightfully, unapologetically taken from you, you can.
You can't just not return them before 10. How am I going to get them to bed?
I see you tend to them as if they are your own children.
Yes. And I'm so happy to
Ladies
see them go
first.
out on dates.
If only I could get my critters to do the same.
It is always difficult.
Oh. For the most part, I view animals more than plants as family.
I see.
Sweet. Through here and to the left.
Funnily enough, it's the one place I did get directed towards. First place I went when I got here.
A dungeon?
Yes. I was... Although I was intended to be a librarian, I was also more pressed to come in as a specialist for her. Unfortunately, her problem isn't something that I know of.
By all means.
Hi, Arab! Why did PL end so early?
No crab, I can't believe we still have that.
Is there just nobody there? I was gonna come in.
Sounds like Willow's on
And then I heard it was ended already.
She's my friend too. Please.
Literally no one? Well, if you guys want some RP, I'm probably gonna leave Ascension pretty soon. So, if you'd like a cord around, you can still have me.
Shapes. Out like a light. Wonderful.
Yeah, she's been like this for about 20 minutes with a stable pulse.
Oh. Want to tell me what exactly it is that she said to you?
She just threatened me. Told me to shut up. She wanted me to stop speaking, but I didn't. I continued to speak to my friend. My friend that resides within her. She eventually succumbed to some sort of stress, I guess, and passed out.
Alright then.
I'm just as in the dark as you, unfortunately. They were mentioning a plan, but will not elaborate.
Right, so you want to enact something in on one of your fellow comrades, not inform staff.
Well, they were going to look for Vaughn. That's all they mentioned
well,
so far.
That's peachy. Right. Well, by all means, you want to let the demon deal with it, go for it.
He is our squad teacher. Sir.
That he is.
Disagreeing with you.
Can't wait to see the place. It's gonna be awesome, Morph.
I mean, beyond ensuring that she's safe and not tearing herself apart, I don't know what else I can do for you. Other than possibly tracking Vaughn down. That in and of itself is a task.
I did not see him in the offices when I was fetched.
I don't think I've seen him since about the middle of class time.
Yes, I remember when I saw him run after Rook. Speaking of, where's he at? It was right after I determined if Specca still had administrative. He does appear to have it. It's been revoked, thankfully.
Again? This is what, the third time?
What do you mean?
Rook has had his access, rather other people's admin access removed several times already.
I was informed by yesterday, I believe it was Chips and a couple others, that for some reason Carver gave all of Ignis Rook's administrative right. Up to the same level as
Carver
yours.
did that?
That's what I was informed
Anyway.
of. And I did not hear about it until just the other day. So I went and removed it. I removed it from Rook, from everyone, except for you again. However, I had to confirm, because of the fishiness of Rook's behavior, that it was indeed true, that admin was revoked. So I had her command him. And he said you do not have administrative rights, so that should confirm
what does
it.
that mean? If you have administrative rights.
You could give
Vev, would you like to
orders
elaborate?
Rook.
Or I could. Up to a certain caliber. Obviously, Ignis, in general, can just be like, come on, Rook, follow us, and he'll come. But someone like Vev can order higher tier attack commands such as attack mode or defense mode.
But I can't technically
And the
choose who
teachers
he
can go
attacks,
above
he
that.
he still chooses that. But I still don't use any commands anyway.
That's pretty dangerous.
I believe Rook currently is with Augusta.
Alright. So Vaughn might not be with him. Alright.
Well, unless you all want to include me in on whatever Grandmaster plan it is you have that requires runes or anything like that, I can't do much of anything but sit here and wait like the rest of you.
Yes, I can also, you would like to all head to the hall, we can lock the cage again. Unless people would like to remain in here.
I want to leave her. It doesn't feel right.
Never said to leave her.
I'm not leaving her side.
Understood.
Hurricane's not on her, correct?
No.
Can you pat her down,
It's
one of the
so-
medical staff, and check?
No, it's not on her. It's been long since removed.
Oh, actually, most of the medical staff here would be weak against silver.
Then she should be fine.
Good intuition, though.
If all the teachers leave, we will not be able to lock up, so.
Oh, I'll remain here.
Do you currently have the keys to lock up?
Should. Unless you've put them somewhere else.
You have the keys then? Yes, you do, it seems.
Right.
Alright. Making sure.
You're staying in?
Aye, somebody's got to be here, and somebody has to go search for Vaughn. Oh.
I can go do that then. I'll try to look through my plans and see if I can find him quicker.
You're best suited.
He is hoping he has fun locating the bird. Maybe he's
Calling
out
him a
on the
grey
net.
cockatoo would... I was going to say, calling him a grey cockatoo would probably give him a bit of an ego boost, seeing how it is his grey cockatoos are actually quite intelligent. More like a peacock.
Perhaps then he just gave me a very bad first introduction.
Mm.
He can act impulsively, but ultimately, everything on the surface just hides how much he truly cares. He doesn't let people see it.
I see.
He will probably never get to a point where he does. But he genuinely cares. Albeit he might go about it heavy-handedly. But he's someone that I would trust with my life over and over again.
Are you close to him then?
To some degree.
I see. I'm glad to hear he isn't entirely prostrating himself.
We'll talk about him a lot. Say bad things. And he doesn't really let it faze him. But no one really wants to consider what he does for students here. Maybe not all of them. But some. I've watched him give up parts of himself just to help them. To help me.
Well, I assure you, most of the most terrible things I say are said entirely in jest. I don't exactly know him well
Yours
enough to
might be.
purely judge.
Some people not so much.
I see.
I've never been able to tell if the things that people say that I know that he hears.
It appears that he
affects him.
has turned in for the evening. I can't find him anywhere on campus.
Well, shit.
Oh. Plan on divulging that Grandmaster plan of yours then?
It's not mine to divulge. I don't know what it is.
I was talking to Cicely.
My apologies.
Oh, it's fine, Lila, I know. I appreciate you answering me, though, truthfully. Your squad mate, your plan, not mine.
And plus, we're quite in the dark comparatively.
Mm.
She should be safe in the
If I'm
dungeon here for now,
honest,
though.
none of my squad has really been talking to me for 2 weeks, so I know the least amount, and I probably have the wrong information anyway.
So then we should get checked. Or somebody.
I saw them walk off with Esme, and then Victor followed suit not too long after, and I have no idea where they went.
Chip seems bothered by... I'm not sure that he, trusts that Lyra isn't necessarily bad. Unfortunately, she, for the most part, is threatening the real Specca. And that's not okay. That part needs to be remedied first. I think Victor might be able to be most level-headed.
Are you able to find Victor for us?
I can try. He did mention that they didn't need Vaughn as long as someone was here to watch over them, whatever that meant. I can go check for them.
By all means.
Actually, might be able to see them from here, pending. There is a large group in front of the Ignis dorms. Perhaps that is them.
He's the black guy. I'm the critter's boy.
I see.
Heads up. Out of RP. I'm gonna head out, but she's gonna stay passed out.
Okay. Sleep.
To be specific. Okay. To be specific, it's kind of she's catatonic.
Catatonic.
So anyway,
Like coma?
yeah. So everything's like running fine, but she's like lights are on, but nobody's home.
Coma. Okay.
See y'all later.
Boy.
Permission to speak freely.
You've
Aye,
always
go
had
for
it.
I don't think it's very... Pardon my bluntness. Becoming to insult your fellows in front of other students? By all means do so in your leisure alone, but it seems a little inappropriate.
It is why I referred to him as Bird instead of his name. But I can see what you mean. You'll have to pardon, I'm a bit unused to this type of environment.
It's okay.
May I say one other thing?
Of course. You don't need to ask permission to speak.
Yes, I do.
Right, Cicely, when have I ever not given you the permission not to speak freely?
I like to be cautious.
It's fair, I understand. But yes, you have permission.
Okay. I do not mean to be rude by this, but you two, Vaughn and yourself, Willow, share a lot of qualities that are the same. You both really mean well, but you have pretty big knee-jerky reactions to things. Like, I can think of Lila back at the camp when she... That was not smart of me. I'm sorry, Lila.
You're fine.
That was my bad. That was my bad. That was really dumb of me. Different one.
It's okay.
Carver.
Lavina.
Okay.
Oh, it's fine, go ahead, use Carver. Trust me, I'm well aware of my issues.
We tend to jump to extremes.
I had located Victor. He told me the plan, but is not going to be coming down here anytime soon. He mentioned that they were going to, as a group, question her, whatever that meant.
That's fine. She's, at least from my ears, I'm sure Lila could confirm this. Out cold, so to speak.
Understood.
So,
would you still like to remain by her side?
Anytime soon. Yes.
Huh?
I will be. Sorry.
I'd prefer
Alright, then
that
is it
you
okay
weren't
if we
in
come
here.
and fetch you in the morning then?
That's fine.
Alright, then.
As long as she was checked for silver, we should be fine. She has chromatic glass on her, so she shouldn't be able to cast. Last I heard, at least. Or she's enchanted this one in particular.
Open, hon. Okay?
Should be, as far as I could tell.
Fair enough. rest up tomorrow then?
And to my knowledge, there is a meeting with Ignis in the Ignis dorms. However, Victor is somewhere else. That was what Stark informed me of. When I was looking for Victor, that's what Stark informed me. Who's all there, I do not know. Yes, Lila?
If Stark or anyone else from my squad is still awake, including my brother, could you let them know that I'm here?
I will. I see them.
Good luck
Thank you for
then,
your
dear.
assistance. You have a good night.
Thanks.
As well, I suppose.
Then I guess I must speak to the two of you then. Out of earshot, perhaps.
I see.
I should probably be turning in myself after this.
Yes, I think most will be, as it's gotten quite late. I figured I'd at least bring this up then, based on everything I've heard, what I've witnessed when she was in Silver's office, and when I was questioning her several days ago. She started choking herself in almost attempts to push back the other side. Considering the dripping of Erplum also did the same thing, it seems she hates pain.
Lyra doesn't like pain. Specky utilizes pain in order to be able to subdue Lyra, which in turn means then what?
Right now, it seems that the one that has information that we could get would be Specicide. Unfortunately, she seems to be the one losing currently, based on what they mentioned. Would that be your opinion as well?
Aye. Problem is that, as Lavina has made it clear, Vaughn is their squad leader, and I'm not going to.
Understood. I figured I'd at least, however, fill you in on a thought of my own.
I'm not sure what it is that Vaughn can provide as far as safety precautions goes, given his nature. But if it's necessary, I can provide some ease of pain.
I was thinking quite the opposite, actually.
You
Are you
prefer
familiar
that
with
I-
the... Continue.
Oh, go on. I think our
Are you
wavelengths
familiar
are
with
meeting.
the... Are you familiar with the transmutation spell Regenerate?
Aye.
Well, quite barbaric, but quick. It could be suggested that the squad themselves were to perhaps inflict great amount of pain in a moment to see if they could push back the Lyra, I believe her name was. And then using Regenerate as a squad, they could reattach a limb, for example.
It'll take a quite deal out of them.
Yes, but to get answers, we might have to make some decisions of that nature. What do you have in mind, if anything?
I was going to make the same suggestion at that point.
Similar use. I see. This, however, would still come down to them as a squad and their squad leader. However, Vaughn has been keeping this from us as well.
Aye.
It does seem Vaughn, at least on the outside, his plan is to get rid of Lyra. I don't know how
Well,
he
this would
intends
get rid of her in
to,
some
but
capacity. Whether he'd like it or not, that's a different question.
I think he
Not
intends
that
to get
I'm
rid of them
too
rather
happy about it
permanently.
either. What is your take on this possible road. As
Unfortunate,
gruesome as it may sound.
but it might be the only answer for you. I apologize, my expertise is not
It's
as
fine. As you
helpful as
mentioned,
it
this is
was.
quite a strange issue.
I tried to get a reading on her when we first met. I learned something interesting, but I don't think connected. I'd like to, if I can, be around when you ask these questions. I should potentially be able to tell if she's giving you straight answers. Although,
We also have the circle of truth we could use, but if a
It
liar's
works on her.
good enough, they might think that what they say is the truth. Correct?
I did forewarn this liar about that, but she seemed to answer the questions negatively, and she didn't enjoy having to scratch it herself.
I see. That scratching could have been Specca trying to get out. In fact, that might have led to the brief resurgence that we heard Lila mention. All right, well, perhaps we'll have to talk to Vaughn tomorrow then when he's back.
likely so.
Oh. If the rest of Ignis is still up and you want to make a mild suggestion to them, you could if you want. Or I could.
They seem to be scattered all over the place as of right now.
Fair enough.
Victor was having a private discussion with Rin up at the graveyard.
I tend
And then
to
Chips
take
and Esme.
late nights, so I will try to come in and see how things are going every once in a while throughout the night. I am glad
If
to
anyone,
have
I
someone
could.
next to her.
I can, considering the suggestion, I could understand that. I could inform Victor of it, but see what. But the rest of the squad, however, would probably not be too happy about such a suggestion.
Likely not.
Was yours similar in nature, as you suggested?
I mean, I was going to make the recommendation to them that potentially maybe even cutting off a finger or something, inflicting.
Well, a finger would
something
be
to that
far less
extent.
than a limb, yes. However, that would be attaching way more nerve endings for them to have to use such a spell on a trigram or a quadgram in their case. But, so it does seem like at least we were on the same wavelength there. Alright.
I think
well, if you're
we're going
turning
to
in,
have to. I'm going to say, I think we're going to have Vaughn fill us in on everything. Can't keep
hopefully he'll let us
secret.
know. Then we'll
Unless we
both
can't
bring up
help
the
him.
suggestion to him tomorrow. Then.
Fair enough. I will be heading home.
Understood. I know Vivina said she wanted to have an extracurricular lesson. However, it is getting quite late. Whether she still has the mind to do such a thing, we'll see. Maybe I'll broach the subject with her to try to grasp the situation, see if she'll mention anything herself.
Well, good luck then.
Thank you very much, Miss Crescent. You have a wonderful night as well, then, if you're turning in as well.
I believe I shall. Some of the books are quite whiny, and I'd like to try and iron them out.
Ah, yes. If only I could iron out the whiny students the same way.
Books are much easier to deal with.
Yes, they are.
I will see you later, Akiyama.
Yes, you have a pleasant night.
Nights are always more pleasant. Aren't they now? Indeed. This way I will go. The other way's annoying. Too much building. Going to be dreadful weather on Wednesdays. How terrible. hidden by the clouds, aren't you? Possibly. Now let's see. Orange or blue? Orange. I think that's right. For where I want to go. Yes, it would seem you're hiding behind the clouds today. This is fine. I shall bask in your radiance another time. Quite picky lately, aren't you? If only we could speak. I'm sure you'd have quite the fun things to say, wouldn't you?
Realize what name? Yeah. We're doing wacky moon people shit, yo. Moon people.
Moon people are always wacky. And when the river speaks, it wallows. But what will it wallow in today? We shall see. That's where we're gonna end tonight, Rose.
Fucking Deadpool arm.
Hey, Ribbon.
There you go.
Yeah, tiny little baby arm.
Ribbon's like, man, this is my second day here. They're like, let's chop a fuck kid's arm off.
It's my second day, and we already talking about chopping arms off. Wow!
Well, to be fair, reattaching and a lesson learned or something. But yeah, that's gone on for a long time.
I have to say, fucking wholesome. Right
Yeah.
here, these two. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sorry
he
if I
respects
interrupted
her
the
as a
stuff in
human.
the
No, you're fine.
library.
So
Don't
cool.
worry about it. Don't
Trying to
worry
find
about it. It's all
They'll
good.
they'll
I
have
appreciate
plenty
it.
of time to
Yeah,
to have conversations.
Yeah, he
My
invited her to
pool
the
of
grotto.
my pool of
Oh, damn.
friendships.
You're married, dude. I'm just kidding.
No, I know. Trust
I
me.
know.
That thought crossed my mind as well. I was like, dude, you're a married man. You just invited some random bitch over to your
Tree
place. How's
Daddy
that
and
gonna
Moon
look?
Mummy.
I know. When she was also saying goodnight to me, I was like, nope. You're 300 years old. This shit don't matter. She might have big tits, but ignore it.
She might have. She's got waxing moons.
I,
Oh my
hey, Chris,
God.
which phase of the moon are you tonight? Can I have a full
Moon
moon,
right
perhaps?
there. Let me tell you.
Can I put my bookmark in between your pages or whatever the fuck?
Ooh.
I have
Dude,
absolutely.
at the
Headmaster
rate,
does not care about that at all.
I was about to say, if I ever actually fucking hear Headmaster actually make some form of a romantic pun in her direction, I'm literally going to look at you when we are alone as Willow and go, smooth. Fucking
I'm not
smooth.
doing it though. At most I still I tease the students for doing their stupid ass flirting. By the way, did you hear the goat thing? You didn't, did you? Dude,
I did.
Nana broke so hard. She died. She like respawned. She just fell over. She died. It was great. So glad.
Oh no, trust me, when we started doing that shit to Ryder with the fucking Thundercats and the Snarf.
Oh man, I kept going
we're
when you left. I
literally-
made it worse.
We're
there's House of...
Hi, Hal.
We're just bullshitting. We just
Have
ended our stuff for
fun.
extent.
Guys.
Hello. Are you looking for someone?
Hello.
Or where did you just end?
Yes. I'm looking for Miss Arbor and Lisa.
That is probably going to be. I don't.
Library, more than
I
likely.
don't see them on this map. They're either in the library or the cave, or underneath one.
Followed your.
That's literally it. So.
Love and appreciate your wonderful amazingness.
It's at this time that I miss this character because she would be so good in the situation. I could help everyone, but I can't.
That would be my first guess. Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just a wee bit dead.
Just a wee bit.
Just a little bit.
How do you? And also, when you fucking are like, yeah, I almost killed Carver. I'm like, no one's told me this shit at all.
Yeah.
First off.
No,
but also,
I legitimately thought that somebody, like even Vaughn, because Vaughn has literally been going around.
He's hiding it from everyone, or he hides shit from me for some reason now.
I know Vivina was about to get into that. I know Vivina was about to get into the fact that I almost killed Carver, and I was literally going to look at Vivina.
I did not know that Rook got the rest of the squad. That threw me for a loop, though. I did not realize she did not know. Because I learned in character, they're like, yeah, Carver was told you 2 days ago. I'm like, no. I was not told that he gave access to everyone.
What do you mean he told me?
I'm like, I do not remember this at all, which... I mean, I could go back and watch my VODs, but I fucking don't remember being told that at all. That Carver just straight up gave an entire squad admin access to start his fucking defense and attack mode.
That's a lot.
Oh, by the way I tested if Rook's attack mode, or the way I tested if Sveka and Elira still had admin was I'm like, Sveka, could you command Rook to attack one of the students over there? And she's like, oh, cool, which one?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So then she's like, attack Ryder, and then he's like, you don't have admin. And I'm like, whew, that's good.
Oh, that could have been bad. Ooh. Oh shit, here we go again.
Rook down, command him to stop, whatever. But we'll see. Because commanding, if commanding didn't work, that was one of those like, if this works, it's bad, it's bad. But bye, Ryder.
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
I can take anything. I'm immortal. I have the fucking angel first. You can't kill me.
Ooh.
Ugh. Who the fuck are you? No, just...
Don't worry, I'm just a dead fish. Don't worry about me. I'm just hanging out. I'm a bad fish.
But
You can't kill me.
Now, if I'm Bargus, however, I would be like, damn, big old titties. Oh, I like my height right now. Like, we'll see what I say as Bargus. I have yet to meet her. That'll be interesting.
Just fucking, damn your tits, big as barrels of ale.
Something like that. I'm trying to think. I'll think of stupid ass puns or stupid pickup lines that are dumb as Bargus. We'll see.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I've already started my weird moon people shit.
What the hell does that mean? Speaking of moon, I forgot to turn it on.
Oh yeah, I assumed it was just hiding.
There we go. Well, no, it's I've been every day I go down the list. So right now it is next episode's a no moon. So yeah.
Nice.
Man, I didn't get to be Rex at all tonight, and Vev says, "Oh, headmaster, I'll need you later for extracurricular lesson," and still hasn't happened. So it's like, well, shit. Whether
Full
that's
body
supposed to be in the middle of the fucking... I'm gonna be teaching her how to do transmute, enlarge, and reduce.
Well,
because she can't use giant bug insect on herself, because that first off would be overpowered, but that's all too high a level of the spell. Enlarge and reduce though would be possible. I want to say that giant insect she can't use on herself no matter what, because it technically puts the target under your control, but since it's yourself, it wouldn't work. Like a paradox. What do you think? Right?
Probably. Anyways,
I gotta go.
All right. Oh, thank God you didn't have a seat stroke this time.
Pap, I'm glad. Actually, I was very frosty. I've got the fan on like
That's
super
good.
max, and I was sitting there after I had to turn off my full body, and I was just kind of just like, oh no, it's cold. I hate cold.
By the way,
I hate
can
cold.
you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Look up and down when you're not talking.
Is it my mouth?
Her mouth is. Yeah. Her
I
mouth is
I
open.
kept noticing your mouth constantly open. I think you need to regenerate your visemes because
I think so.
when you went to fix something, it lost the blend shapes, meaning it's in the wrong order, which causes a
It
mouth open
is.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to check that. I'm just
And
letting you know.
something's fucked up with my leg whenever I put on full body. I don't know how to solve it, but I'll ask you about it later.
Try to make sure that the hip bone is on the exact same Y as the joints on the hip and stuff like that. I don't know if you're using full body fix either, so we'll see.
I'm not using full body fix
Band-Aid.
though.
I'm sorry. I feel bad because Band-Aid's RP is kind of just over because she's trapped in a cage.
Huh? No, I made that decision. That's fine.
I know you
She
did.
knows what she knows when she's RP locking herself.
Is Ryder still running?
I know.
Hi,
when I
Nickel.
It's okay. I have this thing to keep me company. This very comforting,
Wow.
soothing voice.
Is Wolfie still chilling in there? God damn, I feel bad. Yeah, I should
I think
check on
he
him.
is.
I like how I told Kazuki, I'm like, oh, he's in corporal. You can just go in there and punch him in the face. He won't feel it. And then he runs off, and he's like, I'm gonna go do that. And then I'm looking right. I'm like, he's not in corporal. Oh my god, we gotta stop him. Wait, oh shit! And then we walk in. He's like, shit. I touched him, and his face turned black. And I'm like, uh-oh. Man, I was breaking him all night. That goat thing too. Oh
I'm
my
gonna head
god,
out.
it worked. It was perfect. All right, you have a good one.
Punch.
That's how I show affection.
Bye bye.
That's how I show
Aren't you
affection.
guys just go stalk your boyfriend?
Hug.
Or something?
What?
I'm gonna stalk him.
Actually, he's
have
actually
fun.
left. He's not in here anymore. Go
Oh yeah, I think that
go
he
do
finished
that gross
finally.
cuddling shit in movie.
I was
world or something.
watching Chips and Esme.
I don't need to change name of the stream. You want to know why? Because I'm ending. Because no PL tonight. I don't have any other RP to do.
I'm fucked.
Absolutely, unequivocally fucked. We have nothing to do.
There's no more RPs. There's no more RPs. There's nothing. There's nothing to do. Except for look how cute Court is. Because she's cute. I love her.
And I never get to see her because I have to not look at her. I have to be her.
I love
her. But before I go away, I wanted to talk to you guys because a new RP that I've been putting together is going to be starting on the 15th of next week on Wednesday. I think some of you might know a little bit about it because I've posted small things in my spoiler chat for the Patreons. But we'll be having that start on the 15th, and there is actually a wiki page up on it on the VR chat wiki. So if you're curious and you want to learn a little bit of something about it, it is on there. You can go ahead and preview who might be in it, and you'll get to learn a little bit about what's going to be going on in it. I worked really, really hard to write it up because it was a lot. There were a lot of small things to write. Oh, but I'll figure it out. Either way, I got it all written down, and we should be having that start very soon, and I'm very, very excited. We have a lot of really good people coming in for it, for our first wave, and hopefully we'll have even more come in next wave. I'm really, really, really excited. Soon, TM. I know you know what's going on, Sock, because you in it. Your resident bookkeeper, or rather, book, is actually going to be there. What
do you mean before I go, Morph? I was probably gonna visit you before I got off. I'm just ending straight. Anyways,
I love you all.
I'll see you guys next time. And let's find someone to raid.
Yes.
You're gonna just have to stare at me because something weird happened with my Streamlabs. Let's get Shan. I love Shan. Let's get her. / raid Shan Rock Gamer. Okay. Well, until then, I hope you have fun with Shan. Give her lots of love for me.
And goodbye, gobbles!